Ah. Wow. I'll let you get your mic adjusted.
Okay, cool.
Tell me when.
Yep. Go ahead.
It's been a bit, hey?
It's been a number of months at least.
Yeah. It's been a while. Why are we here?
We're here because one sec.
Oh yeah, I gotta get a swig, hey?
Yeah. Someone had the genius idea of midway through church today.
What?
Be like,
Midway through church?
well, not church. We were at church midway through the fall kickoff.
Right.
Someone had the genius idea of
What's his name?
doing a. His name starts with a C. I'll leave you guys the
Really?
rest. I had the genius idea of wanting to do the podcast in a park, which I was totally on board with right from the start, and we picked a pretty good location. So I'm looking forward to. Why? Explaining what you're doing as I'm in the middle of my intro.
Sorry, what were you saying?
So anyways, ladies and
welcome
gentlemen.
back to Munch Chatter, guys.
Yeah, welcome back to Munch Chatter.
We're doing Munch Chatter. We're excited.
Episode numero 5.
Number 5. Cinco, whatever the heck that means. What the heck is a cinco?
You should learn Spanish.
Cinc?
You should learn
a
Spanish.
A cinco. It's cinco in Spanish.
Sure. Whatever you tell yourself. Yeah, no, it's if memory serves, the last time we filmed was in the middle of April. So it's been a number of months. Yeah,
it's
a
been
lot.
a bit.
A lot has happened.
And a lot has happened. Yeah. We're excited. We're in a park. We decided that we want to do something special because we haven't done a podcast all summer. We haven't even done we didn't really do many in the spring either. And so we decided that we wanted to do something a little bit more special for the one viewer that we have in the park here. We're at a park in BC. The coordinates are 23.55626.332. And then
northwest,
longitude is like 532.566.22235.5. So if you're interested in being in the spot here, you want to see where it was made. I know they have like the office will have like those like they actually office they actually have those like in Pennsylvania they have like Scranton they have like a little like exhibit for the office. It's like I think it's not something like crazy like Disneyland, but they'll have like some of the spots that you can like go to. It's pretty sick. But yeah, because we're as popular as The Office, if you want to come here, there are the coordinates. Feel free to watch back and find those coordinates. But yeah, we're in the middle of a park. It's beautiful. You might be able to hear the birds chirping. The cloud, it's not great like sky. Lighting's a little bit off.
Well, we got here only slightly later than what would have been preferred. It was very sunny about an hour ago. We spent all that time on the road getting here. So yeah, I would say this. I mean, it's not bad. This is kind of like a sort of a sunset vibe.
It is chill. It is very chill. The sun is setting. Gonna be a bit of a shorter episode today. We're on a bit of a time. I'm supposed to be at a potluck right now. It's not like a. It's
but
not like
he has his priorities straight. We got more important things to get through.
Exactly.
First
Content creation goes above my social life. I hate friends. I hate hanging out with people. I would rather sit in a park, look at a computer, and talk to the internet with my best friend Jonathan Cloutier.
I feel touched. When you said you hate friends, I was gonna question why I'm here in the first place, but
yeah, you're not a friend. That's why you're just like a coworker.
That's fair, honestly.
Yeah, like I'm just trying to like get business, like basically just trying to make money out of this. But
yeah, like outside of this, like I literally say bye to him, and then we just never talk until like the next episode. Like we hate each other's guts in real life. We hate each other's guts in real life.
We actually don't hang out that much.
Well, because you were gone for like half the summer.
I was gone for half the summer. Yeah.
Which that's a story in and of itself. We'll get there shortly, but yeah, no. I mean, I definitely would have liked to have done more in the summer, but basically the entire time was work. So my bank account is thanking me for that,
Oh, yeah,
but my mental and social state wishes I had done a little bit more. Well, I did take some vacation during the summer, so I am happy about that, but I don't know. A lot of my weekends were pretty dull, but nonetheless, it was summer. It was beautiful weather. So I am very grateful for that.
Yeah. It was hot here.
It was, but it's funny because I think the hottest day we've had this summer was yesterday.
Really?
Yes,
I
if you,
disagree.
because you were in a different continent.
It wasn't hot there.
Is it not?
So, guys, for context, I went to Rwanda for 2.5 weeks this summer. We will touch more on that in a sec, but the hottest day we had in Rwanda was like high 30. Highest we had was 30 on the dot.
Really?
Yeah,
Yesterday it got up to 32, I think.
that's what I'm saying.
Wow, that's
But when I came back,
surprising.
it was like mid 30s.
No, it wasn't.
It
We never got mid 30s here.
went
We got
100%.
mid to high 20s on average.
100%. It was at least 35. At least, because I walked in, I remember it just being just smoldering hot. I was drenched right off the bat.
Actually, you might have a point, because I remember I was leaving work one day, like last month, and my car's temperature, they said like ambient temperature, which I think is outside, was like 36.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think
Had
you
to at
might be
least
right
been
about
35,
that.
'cause
And it was like that for a few days.
It was
so
pretty hot. Yeah, no, it was brutal.
it wasn't as bad as the summer of 2021, where it got up to like 41 or 42.
That was like
Something stupid like that.
brutal. I actually remember because I used to live down the street from Derek.
Yep.
And I would go over, like, I remember that when during that heat wave, I went over to his house because he has a pool.
Yep.
And it was the best
Mhm.
because we just hung in the pool, and then I went home, and I remember just coming back home after the pool and being like, I just want to go back to that pool.
How
'Cause it's
warm was the
so
water?
hot. It was warm, but also like it was cold. It was cold. It was refreshing.
Okay.
It was refreshing. Yeah, it wasn't like hot tub. It wasn't like they done a good
I
job
sure
of like.
hope not. Otherwise, what does that say about the rest?
Ain't no pool for sure.
I remember that summer of 2021. I had a dentist appointment. I swear it was July, because I remember it just getting up to 40. It was stupid. But anyways, I had a dentist appointment, and my mom drives me there, and we're in the car, air conditioning like fully blasted, and she parks. She did the smart thing. She parked like basically right by the entrance of the dentist, but like I still had to maybe walk 15-20 seconds to
crazy.
actually get there. As soon as I got out of the car, because the pavement.
Sorry, I'm just like, don't look at the. Anyways, yeah.
Anyways, but because of the pavement and everything, and because of how hot it was, it just like reflected everything, and it felt like I was walking through an
Dude,
oven.
yeah.
And then as soon as I
It's-
got in
it
the
gets
dentist,
brutal,
it was
yeah.
like
You
it
could
was
literally cook an
air
egg on
conditioning,
the
like-
pavement
yes.
during that summer. It
easily
was
could.
nuts.
You just throw a pan there, and
It was
you're good to
it
go.
was disgusting. Yeah.
Which was funny as well, because for like a week and a half, I slept in the basement.
Oh.
I couldn't sleep upstairs in my
No.
house.
Oh, it's super nice in basements were clutch.
Yeah.
Were
The rest of my
clutch.
family slept upstairs,
Yeah.
but I was like, haha, I'm not doing this.
Losers.
Like, even with the fan in my bedroom, could
No,
not sleep.
There's no way that you can.
Way too hot for
yeah,
that.
It's just too hot. Yeah, dude. Podcast. We have the mic setup's kind of interesting because I recently got a new mic. So what you're seeing here is a different mic, but Jonathan is using my old mic, and my old mic is not very good. At least you need to have it set up well for it to be like really, really good. And so every time he moves it around or taps like just even a little bit, as you see there,
That's going to be insanely loud for you guys.
it's
but
going to be very loud. And so if you hear that, we apologize. We're working to make the setup a little bit better, even camera quality wise. We're looking to look into potentially getting a better camera. Yeah, a lot of different things that we're looking at here. But yeah, welcome back. We're happy to be here. We're hoping to be a bit more consistent. We're actually on a new computer right now too that is hopefully going to be running this recording a little bit better. It's portable as well, so we can take it different places. So we're hoping to maybe do some little park podcasts every once in a while just to get outside. Probably not in the winter or fall, actually.
I think we can both agree that the weekly schedule is shot out through the window. But
We'll try.
would monthly be crazy?
Monthly would not be crazy.
Maybe even once or twice a month?
I would say maybe like twice a month is going to be promised. Can be promised, but we can try and
Can
do
be,
something.
but at the same time, I mean, I'm not trying to like throw shots to you at here, but I think a big part of the reason why the schedule is inconsistent is just because your work life, your life in general, just has been pretty busy. It's been more busy than I really know, and yeah. So we haven't. What are you doing?
You see that?
Oh, I was gonna ask, how much would it be to get another one of like these arms or this like whatever
They're
this
not
is called
super
right here?
pricey. I can probably find one.
Because I'm saying, like, if we get a second one, we hook it up here for my mic.
Oh, 100%. We could set it up. I think I want a better
Also,
table.
I hope I'm not too close to the mic. I don't
No,
want
you're
it to
not
be
super close.
loud.
The mic, the table's not very good for this, so it's like, see, as you see, it's kind of like tilting a little bit.
Isn't that what you set it up back at your house, though?
No, it's a different setup.
Oh, okay.
I usually just have this to my desk.
Oh, that's
But I
fair.
might need to fix this actually.
Oh, yeah, and I think the last episode we showcased this, but you know his room was completely just reorganized, so definitely a lot better.
Yeah, I don't know if we had an episode in the new room.
I think that was the last one.
It must have been the last one.
I honestly can't remember if we talked about this then, so I'll just say it now because it's been too long. The whole story of him sort of reorganizing his room was like,
Oh yeah.
so he has like a bunk bed system, and he had a mattress underneath it which he would sleep on, but he wanted to get rid of that. So he had to get rid of the mattress, and he wanted to throw it away. And there's like the landfill not too far from our house. He threw it in my trunk. Problem is the mattress is like, no, that's not. Anyways, it's long and it's decently wide. It fit in my car, but the problem is that when you fold it, it doesn't want to stay folded. It wants to go back to just being a giant rectangle. So the only way to get it to work was he had like a 20 or 25 pound dumbbell that he literally just threw on top of the mattress.
Like actually the most scuffed thing ever.
But it worked. Like he threw a dumbbell on it so it would stay in its folded position.
That's the crazy thing, is it actually worked.
I took a left turn to get on the highway.
Yeah.
I guess I took the left turn just a little too fast, and the dumbbell rolled off and fell on the floor of my car, and the mattress flew back up. So the only way for me to have any rear visibility was he had to hold his arm on the mattress the entire time before we got to the landfill.
Yeah, it was really scuffed. Sorry, I need to fix this. See, it's like...
Is it loose or what's wrong?
Well...
Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. We came very prepared for this, don't worry.
Oh, hundo.
100%.
Dude. The issue is this needs to be... Yeah, I definitely gonna need a different table as well. This table is like... It's all plastic, so it's like...
Looks like we're going shopping soon.
Yeah, we need to invest in the pod a little bit, but yeah, it should be a little bit better, at least for a bit. Yeah, so yeah, a bit of a scuffed setup, but we're looking to just to make it a little bit better, and even my rooms look a little bit nicer, and so the space will be a bit better, and it's just doing the same thing. So that's really good.
this episode is kind of out of the ordinary, but I think regardless of what the setup is, this is kind of just a part of the experience. Right, like this is something that we planned pretty much last minute. So I think no matter how this goes,
it was very last minute. Yes,
it'll be funny one way or another. This won't be a perfect episode. It won't be like crisp setup.
Yeah,
but like I can hear noises from the highway. Like just us being out here, it feels really good. I must say. Like I'm glad we're doing this.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we could talk about. There's a bunch of wasps kind of invading, but
they're the guest stars for the episode.
Yeah. What was your summer like?
So basically, my summer started with the Derek trip. Yeah. And then after that it was work. See my friends every now and then.
For sure. Dude, he's pissing me off.
If you leave it be, it'll go away.
It just won't.
The more you provoke a wasp, the more likely it is to come back, and he's right at our camera.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay, he's gone.
Anyways. Yeah. What was it? So Derek trip. Derek trip.
So yeah. So there was the Derek trip, and then kind of after that, the entire month of July was just, it was just working, and then my friend had a birthday party, so that's cool.
Dude,
work. Just
I freaking hate these things, man.
leave it alone, and it'll.
Dude,
oh no, never mind.
It's not. Where is it?
It's right behind the chair.
Like.
No, it's okay. Now it's coming to me. If you really want to, you can just clap it with your hands and it'll die. Assuming you can
my
catch it. My
hands will get stung. No. Okay.
Anyways,
it's fine.
okay, so yeah, and then it was basically just working, and my friends and I, we had a plan, because one of my friends, right, his dad owns a house in Nelson. You know
yes.
Yeah.
You were telling me about this, I think.
Yeah, so Nelson, for those of you who don't know, that's way up in the Kootenays. It's like 8 hours east from here. So you have to take Highway 1 to Hope, then Highway 3 the entire way out there.
Okay.
And you're driving through the valley and through the mountains. It is a beautiful drive, I will say. So one of my friends, so there was 5 of us in total that went. One of the guys out of us 5, his dad owns a house there. And his grandparents live there. Yeah. So his dad's side of the family lives in Nelson. And his grandparents were having their 60th anniversary. Okay. So he was taking a whole week off, because I guess his second year of university was done, and he had like a week before he has to like go work for 8 months, which is a part of his program. And so he goes, okay, I'm going for a week to Nelson. My grandparents having their anniversary. You guys want to come? And the rest of us, we all just took time off work.
Sure.
We all went up there, spent a week at the house. We did a bunch of stuff. We went to a hot springs. We went on like a hike. We, did a bunch of stuff there. We met his grandparents. They have a really cool house, because like it's
in Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson. Because it's okay. Their house on paper isn't in Nelson, but it's basically in the same general area.
Sure.
And it kind of just feels like a house in the middle of nowhere, which is awesome.
That's sick. Yeah.
The house that his grandparents live in, they have Wi-Fi, but there's no data out there. So they just have a satellite dish sitting outside of their house.
Oh, I see.
For them to get Wi-Fi.
So it's just like, yeah.
So if the internet's down, you don't have data. You're screwed.
Yeah.
The TV doesn't work. Nothing works. Whatever. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, his grandparents, they have a sauna. So we sat in the sauna for a little bit. That felt quite refreshing, because I remember, this is a really interesting part of the trip. I thought I was coming down with a cold off on the second day, but it turns out all it was okay. So for context as well, the house that his dad has, the upstairs kitchen basically doesn't exist. It was getting renovated. Okay. So his dad was basically working on he was working in the kitchen the entire week. While the rest of us were on vacation, he was working in the kitchen. Right. And so he was setting up the drywall, and like there was a bunch of dust everywhere. And on the second day, I woke up and I was sneezing and I was blowing my nose like crazy. But I could tell it wasn't a cold. I
see what's happening.
Like, okay. I know what an allergic reaction feels like. It was just allergies to the drywall dust. But I was kind of like, there's a small chance that it is cold.
It's cold, yeah.
So what I do is, we go out to his grandparents' house, and I still feel horrible.
Yeah.
I took an allergy pill out of a contingency plan, but then I realized, if I go to the sauna, it'll basically like open up the pores in my nose, and it'll hopefully make any allergic reactions or any like...
Sure.
Whatever in my nose go away. I went in the sauna for probably a good half hour. The rest of the trip, no allergies ever came back. Like, I was untouched at that point.
That's crazy.
So it worked, and it felt really good as well. Like, it's very hot in there, but it's kind of felt refreshing. So yeah, that was just more like a cool experiment, if you will.
So what you're saying is, like, next time I get a cold, I should go to my local rec center with the sauna. Just sitting there for a couple hours, and I'll be chilling.
Well, if you have an allergic reaction, I guess. No, or not even allergic reaction. Just if you have allergies to anything.
Yeah.
Like if it's like dust, if it's grass, whatever. It worked for me. I'm honestly surprised. Or it could have just been the allergy pill.
Sure. Yeah.
But either way, the sauna felt great.
I mean, the sauna probably felt amazing.
But
anyways.
do saunas, because they apparently they're pretty good for you.
They are supposed to have like health benefits. I've heard. Yeah, I don't go in saunas often, but I know that they have benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't mean to do this, but I just have to double check. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
We're good to go.
It works. Dang, this thing's really annoying me.
Yeah. And then the rest of the week was basically like we made a couple dinners as well. We ate out most of the time.
Sure.
Drove around a little bit, sort of explored Nelson, and then at the end of the trip we drove back home. The drive back home was a lot. So it took us to go from here to Nelson the first day. It took us 10 hours, but that's because we stopped a bunch of times on the way. We only stopped twice on the way back home, and it took us 7.5 hours to get back.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah. And then when we were coming back home, it was like probably 7:30, and we stopped in Princeton for like dinner and whatever.
Yeah.
There's a good 2.5 hour portion of Highway 3 and Highway 1 that come after that. And because it was sunset at that point, so it was like pitch black when we got back on the highway. That part of the highway is known for deers.
Oh.
So you got to watch out for that. We didn't hit any deers.
That's good. Yeah.
We didn't see any deers on the road at that
insane
point.
If you hit a deer.
But if it's pitch black and you're not paying attention, the deer runs in the middle of the highway.
For sure.
You're cooked. Unless you just swerve out at the last second. But yeah, luckily we didn't suffer any of that.
That's good. Yeah, that could be
it's just, it's a beautiful drive. It kind of like, I was so grateful to get out of the city, because when I was doing that drive, I was just like, this is all in the same.
It's crazy, yeah.
Not only is that highway a part of the same country I live in, it's a part of the same province.
Yeah, it's insane.
British Columbia is huge.
It's huge.
To drive from here to Alberta is like 12 hours. You have to drive at least 12 hours to get out of this province. There's so much to see. I've been on the Coquihalla. It's beautiful. Highway 3 is beautiful, right? And like even a year ago.
Even where I went to, like, when I went backpacking this last week for like 3 days.
Oh, yes. Great story.
3 days. And just like the views were amazing. Like, it's only like an hour and a half away from where we're at. But it's just like it looks so different. And like here, like it's very like swampy, very marshy, because we're kind of by the ocean. But like, yeah, like as soon as you get to a place like when you get to like northern BC or to the island, like the plant life, everything just changes so drastically.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's crazy. But like walking through, I was like, this does not feel like BC. Like this feels like I'm walking in like New Zealand or some crap.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt like Lord of the Rings. Like it was crazy.
Some mountains and valleys in Canada will make you feel like you're in a different country.
Yeah.
But
it's
Canada,
insane.
surface-wise, is the second biggest country on the planet.
Yeah.
There's so much to see.
And we actually haven't only discovered like maybe I think there's a percentage out there where we only discovered like maybe 15% of it.
What do you mean?
20% of Canada has been like we've only like really fully inhabited or discovered 20% of Canada.
Are you including the territories that are north of us?
Like we've only maybe inhabited is probably the better word.
But like we've discovered all of.
We've probably discovered some other parts.
What do you mean by discovered? Because a country, like sure you can discover a country, but I feel like a country is like the land is determined by how much space
like there's parts
we want to take up.
There's parts of Canada that have never been walked before.
Do you know which part specifically?
Probably up north more.
That
I'd say
make
probably
sense,
the more
honestly, yeah.
northern parts, I'd bet. But like no one's ever walked through those parts.
Is there just too much snow?
It's just that, and it's just like too mountainy. It's too hilly.
That's fair, honestly.
It's just like doesn't make sense.
You get a helicopter, you just fly around.
Yeah, but like you're not walking on it.
That's true, yeah.
Just flying around.
But you can still explore it. But
you could, yeah.
But walking just kind of hits
being
different.
down there on this ground to see it it's just totally.
But yeah, like certain like I didn't go on the hike he did last week, but I definitely would love to someday. But whenever I take a hike in general, it's literally breathtaking, right?
Yeah.
But it's also like I did a hike in Nelson, and we were like 800 meters above surface level, and I was just looking at the city, but I was just kind of like, it feels nice to be up here. Because like you can just see so much. I can only imagine what the view of what you experienced felt like.
It was
like
amazing. It was 2,000 meters of elevation gain.
Right? Like I can only imagine what the view of that must have been like, and what it must have felt like to do it in person. Like it's just.
Yeah, it's legendary.
Like it's just it's.
Yeah,
it's
it is
so,
different, and
you know,
and well, even
good.
further than that, like even our world as a whole has so much to discover and like so much to see. like even like being in like Rwanda,
Yeah.
like it's very Rwanda's actually very lush. Like when you think of Africa, you think of like, oh, deserts. It's not Rwanda. Like Rwanda is like this, but very hilly. Obviously, the plant life's very different. The trees look very different. A lot of like palm trees. Very lush, very green. It's actually they call Rwanda the land of 1,000 hills, because there's so many hills. Yeah, beautiful. A lot of banana trees, a lot of avocado trees, a lot of really cool like colorful birds you'll find just like flying around. So it's really beautiful. It's a really, really beautiful place. But like then if you go like 2 countries over, it's like a place like Kenya. It's very dry, very deserty, and it's dry in Rwanda as well. Like it has its dry seasons. Like when we went, it was in its driest season of the year, like in the hottest season of the year. But like you go to somewhere place like Kenya and it's more deserty. It's more like there's still green parts to Kenya, I think, but it's more like but that's only like 2 countries away. Like it's not really that. It's not really that far away. So it's like, yeah. But yeah.
How close are the countries? Like so you
like
went to Kenya,
you could
did you drive there in like a day or 2? Or?
Very similar countries to like when you think of like Germany and Norway and Poland, like how they're very close to each other, but they're smaller countries. Very similar to that. We only stayed in Rwanda because it is a safer country. It's the safest country, one of the safest countries in Africa.
Is that where like most tourists go to?
Tourists, yeah. It's like a lot of like beginners who are maybe new to like missions, or who are like they call
level 1 tourism.
Yeah. No, I would say level 1 mission work, like volunteer work overseas.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not really gonna go there just to like. I mean, you might go there to visit, but like, definitely better places to go to for things like that. But, like Rwanda is it's very much a place where you, it's a very safe place to be, and it's very beginner level in terms of mission work. And like if you go with the right group, it's a very beginner level kind of African country in the sense of just like it kind of ease you into what Africa could be like, because there is some parts of Rwanda that are true for all of Africa, but a lot of parts of Rwanda that I don't know if are fully true for all of Africa. Cause like I had a friend who went to Kenya, and she had a very different experience than I did. There were a lot of moments where she felt unsafe, but when I was in Rwanda, there wasn't really many moments where I felt like my life was going to be in danger. Like there was no moments where I was like, oh, I could die here. But there were moments for her where she was like, yeah, I could die here.
But did she go alone, or did she have a group?
She went
of
with a
people
group.
Like you? Oh.
First day in, she was driving in her bus on the way to like where she was staying, and all of a sudden they noticed there was just a dead body on the floor in the middle of the road, who was just like bleeding out.
Oh.
Like he had just got hit by a car and had got like run over. Nobody did anything.
Wow.
People were just like walking past him. Like they're like, oh, whatever, it's normal.
Well, so people just witness manslaughter and they go about their day as if nothing happened?
That's how it is there.
Okay, I can sort of understand why she'd get a little traumatized.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, yeah, fair enough that you might think your life's in danger, because like that's crazy.
I guess
but for me, I never saw
any.
I didn't see any of that. Like we witnessed the Genocide Memorial Museum, and there were like photos and like different things of like some like the dead bodies and things that had happened. But like I never saw physically before my eyes someone on the ground just bleeding, and like so that like you're not really gonna find that in Rwanda a lot. Like you will see things, but not like that. And certainly there were parts where I was like, okay, this is pretty crazy. Like the driving in Rwanda is crazy. Even just the fact that you're in a country with no service, like you have no contact to people back home other than maybe when you have Wi-Fi connection. Like
I was gonna ask. Well, keep going. I'll ask your question.
Yeah, and it's definitely scary in that aspect. But like, there wasn't a moment where I was like, oh, like I could die here. There wasn't really moments like that.
Well, it's good that you felt that way, because that kind of just, if you felt safe, then you feel better about the rest of the trip, because if you're not thinking about
nothing but dying,
then yeah. But it's unfortunate that
my friend did, like, there came a point where she like realized she was safe and that she was gonna be okay, and that the team she had knew what they were doing. But for her, it was like she was feeling very unsafe at the beginning.
Yeah.
But then
Well, it's definitely like a sort of a, like she was shocked. I can imagine her reaction, just going like, I need to go back home.
Oh yeah, like I mean,
one-way flight back.
that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I was gonna ask though, because you were saying like there's little service there, little communication back home. Like, what's the, like, on a technological aspect, what's it like over there?
Yeah, a lot of them have cell phones. Most of them do. They have Wi-Fi connection as well. They'll have access to Wi-Fi often. Yeah, it kind of depends on the place you go to. Like, obviously, technology-wise, they're definitely lacking in some fronts. But yeah, I mean, they have TVs. They have some of them have laptops. A lot of them do. Not great laptops, but laptops. Some of them will have. Yeah, most of them have phones. Some will have phones that are not as good as other ones, but most will. And yeah, even like service-wise, like there was Wi-Fi in most places that we stayed. So there's always ways for me to like even contact like my mom through like Facebook Messenger, or to talk to people through like Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, because I remember, like I would just like come home from work one day, or maybe this was even at work, and I would just see on your Instagram story photos or videos you took in Rwanda, and I was like, okay, so he has
so I would
Wi-Fi of some
I would do that too. I would kind
off.
of do that to like update people back
But
home.
it was good that like I was fully expecting you to just go radio silent for 2 weeks, but when I did see that on your story, it was kind of like I felt some sort of
cool.
relief,
Yeah,
because
like,
I was like, okay, I get to see what your life is like in the process. I get to see what's going on in your life this week or this day.
That was the hope with that. Yeah.
So it's actually good that you pulled that off, or that you were able to do that.
Yeah, and just that constant even like prayer request stuff too was really important. Yeah, no, it was good. It was a good trip. Yeah, I don't think we have time for full stories, but a big thing that happened in Rwanda was feeling a call to provide prosthetics for people overseas.
Yes.
Which is huge. A huge thing to do. Currently, as far as I can tell, maybe there's more. I haven't done I've done research, but not like I haven't dug super deep yet. But as far as I'm aware, there's only one organization in the world that actually provides prosthetic limbs to people overseas, like as like a nonprofit. And yeah, just one. And they're very desperate for people to volunteer, very desperate for people to even work for them. So I'm looking into that. I think that'd be really, really cool. But yeah, like in terms of just like, yeah, it very much started with this dream in grade 12 I had when I had seen someone. I was volunteering at a homeless shelter, and I saw someone who like had a prosthetic leg but was living on the streets. And I started thinking about, what is that like? Like, what's it like to be in a completely different circumstance of life and have an amputation or a prosthetic? Even just thinking about the challenges of living on the streets and having a prosthetic, there's a lot of things you have to worry about, like how are you going to clean it? How are you going to how are you going to keep it safe? Even like maintenance things, like if something breaks, like, you know what I mean? Like there's all those different things. I was fortunate enough to be in a position where those things were taken care of, and like I have a plan for those. People who are on the streets don't. Even further than that, I started thinking about people who are overseas who don't have prosthetics. This was all in grade 12. And I kind of had the small moment of dreaming of a ministry that would just provide support or provide limbs to people overseas who can't provide them for themselves. And so I had the small dream for a little bit. And then pretty quickly after that, I didn't really like this was in grade 12. I didn't really think it was going to be possible, so I didn't really do much with it. And then pretty quickly after, I did grade 12 kind of ended, and I did life teams, and then I kind of took a gap year. Then I went to Rwanda. And in Rwanda, I met a couple different people, but the first interaction I had was with a man, or not one of the first interactions I had, sorry, but just a interaction I had was with a man who had basically been asking me about my prosthetic and was like, yeah, like, it's a bit crazy that you have a prosthetic because people in Rwanda don't have them. We don't have people in Rwanda that provide prosthetics because it's just not possible. We don't have the resources. It's very expensive, and it's just hard to do that. But the guy then was like, I thought back to that dream I had in grade 12 of, wow, like I could start a ministry that would do that because it's not happening. And then I ended up having a conversation with someone after, and his name was Jordan. And Jordan, basically what Jordan is a videographer or a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much what he does is he is a missionary overseas, but what he does is he aims to use film and photo to tell the story of what God is doing around the world. So what he'll do is
That is cool.
It's very cool, and he will partner with ministries that are doing stuff, maybe short term, long term, and he will shoot photos for them. He'll do promo videos for them, as a way of just like fostering an opportunity for that organization to then be able to share that with others. But for him, it started with a small dream when he was my age, maybe probably a bit younger, of being like, yeah, I want to do missions work one day. And he's about 37 now, I think, maybe 36. I don't really know, mid-30s ish. And it started with a dream, and it seemed impossible, but he knew that God had called him into it. And so he pursued it, and he was going to work with an organization. And this organization basically said, like, they do missions, this organization that he was going to wanted to do this with. And he said, hey, like, can I do this video film thing for you guys? Like, I want to tell a story of what God is doing around the world. Could I use photo and video to do that? And they basically said to him, like, yeah, we actually don't see the need. We don't see a need for it. We don't think it's necessary. And so he was like, okay, well, that sucks. But then he ended up doing it anyways. He just said, all right, well, I'll just find a ministry and see if they'd be willing to have me on board for a month or two. Did it. He did like a couple different gigs. And then this organization, like a couple of years later, calls him back, and they're like, hey, so we see a need for it now. And now he's working for them, and he's been to like 32 different countries.
Wow. 32?
Yeah.
That's
insane. At least 30. I know that. I don't know if it's 32 or
insane work, though.
And you know what? He actually just spent a couple weeks in Israel. Which, if you know anything about Israel right now,
yep,
it's literally just
Can you
war
get
torn.
off my camera, please? No one likes you.
He's a really cool guy, but he was on the trip with us, doing a photo and film for us, working with the organization, but to do promo video with us and shoot some photos. And just like very encouraging guy. Me and him got along really, really well. Like, I actually would love to have him on the podcast one day, but instantly we connected, and we talked a lot, and just like, yeah, we were just very like, he was very much like a mentor figure to me on this trip. And now we're gonna get married. No, no, I'm just kidding. No, but he basically, that evening I told him about, because he shared his story with me about his mission work, and then that evening I ended up telling him about this prosthetic thing, and then the conversation I had and how I'd been thinking back to it, and he basically looked me in the eyes and he said, Cole, he basically said in short, in summary, I don't know how he said it, but he said, Cole, God has put that dream on your heart. And he said, me sitting here right now, he basically said, I think that you should pursue that, and I think God is actually calling you to pursue that. Mm-hmm. It was a moment where God very much spoke through him to me and said, and basically God was saying, Cole, I believe that this idea is not impossible, and that through me and through partnering with me, you can do this. Even if it feels impossible, even if it feels difficult, you can do this. It's not going to happen right away, right? That whole idea of the Lord being a lamp unto our feet. If you actually take an oil lamp and you stick it on the ground in front of your feet, an oil lamp, the lamp they're talking about in that verse, you can't see the next. You only get to see the next step. You don't get to see the path that you're gonna take to get there. And I'm stealing this all from Jordan because he said this to me. He said, yeah, like that's what you got to do though. You got to take that next step. You got to follow that lamp. And
is there a verse in the Bible that says that?
It's like a psalmist. That the Lord is a lamp unto my feet.
Oh, okay, that's Psalm. That makes perfect sense.
But even further than that, like that idea, like if we knew the path that it was going to take to get to where we need to be, or where God wants us to be, if we knew exactly what that path was going to look like, we would say no. Because it would be too difficult. We would look at it and be like, yeah, that's too hard. That's not going to work. Right? Because it's hard. There's moments where you fall and you stumble and you fall back and you have to get up. But if you knew that like if you know it's going to happen, then yeah, you have to just push forward. But if you knew exactly what was going to happen, dude, that is so sick. Yo! Sorry guys, there's a dragonfly. I don't know if you saw that on camera, but
he was like hovering.
He literally just was
above
like
your bag right there for.
He was like trying to like dap you up. It was crazy. Anyways, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if we knew the path it was going to take to where God wants us to be, we wouldn't take it. Same thing with this prosthetics thing. I know he wants me to do this very clearly because throughout the trip there were 2 other situations that happened. One situation, same conversation. The guy came up to me, asked me about the leg, told me that they don't have them. But then, bro.
What you want, little bro?
Probably checking us out. But then he went on to say this. He went on to say,
okay.
Dude, bro.
No thanks. Like, I'm sorry. You want to be in the podcast? Sure. You can't disrupt our conversation. Thank you very much.
Do dragonflies bite? No, right?
I don't know, but they're too big for my
I don't want to touch one.
No, I definitely don't either.
Or swat it away. Anyways,
Dude,
so...
Sorry, anyways.
Dude, the sun looks crazy. I wish that the camera...
I have something to say after.
But yeah, and so anyways, basically what happened was this guy came up to me saying, bro, get the frick away.
Oh, he's gone now.
Yeah, get out of here.
Wow, they're fast.
What does he want? He's like scouting us out or something. He's just probably gonna he's probably gonna go get his buddies, bro. Anyhow. He's scaring the crap out of me.
I don't know what that is. Is that a bumblebee? Yeah, anyways. Sorry. So a good portion of this is just us freaking.
Yeah, because there's so many bugs. Anyways, we're literally in a swamp. What do we expect? Anyways, so in short, this guy came up to me, asked me about my leg, and said, yeah, they don't have legs in Rwanda. And then went on to say, he's like, I have a friend in the western part of Rwanda that doesn't have a leg.
Yep.
You can help me get him one, right? I never told him about any of the other things that had happened. The grade 12 thing, the conversation I had with Jordan, none of that. But he somehow believed that I could do this thing. And I was just like, well, like, I thought he was joking at first. But I was like, no, this guy's actually serious. Like, he was looking at me stone cold. Like, he was like, yeah. So I was like, well, what the heck? And so I gave him my number, and I haven't heard from him yet. But still, right? Like
yeah.
Just that people are coming up to me and believing this. And the second thing was that there was an opportunity for us to go to the border of Congo. And Congo right now is a very war-torn country in Africa. And there was a guy who walked in from the border of Congo on crutches, and he had an amputation. No leg. I was wearing shorts. I have a leg. He saw me, and he looked me in the eyes. And it was just like a really emotional moment because it was just like, yeah, like this guy... Like, it was a moment where I wanted to rip my leg off.
You have low battery on your mic. On your
Okay, we'll wrap it up then. We'll wrap it up.
Crap.
We're at 45 anyways. It makes sense. It makes sense. We'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up. It's fine.
Shoot.
No, it's okay.
Okay, well,
but yeah, it was a moment where the Lord
full screen of it, whatever, doesn't matter.
It was a moment where I very much was like, okay, the Lord is giving me the heart for this because I was feeling super passionate about it and stuff like that. So, yeah, we're gonna have to end because the battery's low.
Because I had so much I wanted to say too.
Yeah, dude. Well, maybe we'll do.
I'm gonna just finish off the episode with this. What you were talking about, like the whole like oil lamp sort of like analogy or whatever. There was a video I saw a long time ago now.
Keep it short, just so I don't want to lose the recording.
Yeah, that's fine. It was on Instagram, and it was basically a pastor saying how, like, yeah, God will show you the end of your goal, or like the end of your dream, but never how you're going to get there. And he was using the analogy of Joseph. It's Joseph in Genesis. How like he...
Oh, yes, because he was given the vision.
He was given a vision of him sitting on the throne, and like he was basically just a king or whatever. But if God had told him he was going to go through the slavery and the well and all that, he would have just said, forget it, I don't want to deal with that.
That's crazy.
And so I think...
You're actually insane for that. There's scripture that backs that up.
Yeah, I think for... And like, especially in my life too, I can't get into detail because his laptop is about to die. But
yeah, let's keep it short here. But
like, I want to like work with cars for basically my whole life. And I was having a conversation with him a couple of weeks back about like how like... I'm like, your whole story of the prosthetic leg, like it makes sense how God is going to use that to help people. But for me, I don't exactly see how
you don't know
cars will help other people, but
God does though.
I mean, God works in mysterious ways. I just don't know how it's going to work for my life, but one step at a time, I guess.
One step at a time. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
more we can talk about.
And
hey,
I just
next episode, maybe tune in. We'll probably have more to talk about. We'll keep those things saved. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
It feels good.
Sorry, it feels good to be back. It's a bit scuffed. Setup's a bit weird. We're gonna fine tune it though. We're gonna get things
Hear me
nice
out.
and
What if we just have this as the first half of the episode, and if we film back at your house, we'll just consider this the second half of what we have here, so that we don't have to rush.
I think it'd be good for us to just to upload this and then be like, we'll just talk about it next.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'd be fine. I think it's fine. But thank you guys for watching
Yep.
and listening. We will see you guys in episode 6. That's crazy. It will happen. Yeah, and again, if you have any topics or any specific things you guys want us to talk about, we wanna be there for that. So,
Oh, that dropped way too
yeah,
fast.
it's okay.
Okay.
If you have specific topics or things that you'd be interested in us talking about, we would love to just do that. We'll take time to study and just like even on our own time, take that time to just learn about that topic specifically, and we would love to just like talk about it. And if you want to hear our thoughts on specific issues, we'd love to have that space open. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Peace out.
Peace
That's
out.
all I have to say, because this laptop is literally
Yep.
about to die. See you guys
Bye-bye.
next time.